Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video here today from Manosphere. Let's jump right into it.
Can we normalize older women dating younger guys? Lately, I've noticed that a lot of young 20-something-year-olds are into me. It's almost as though guys my age and older like younger girls, but younger guys like the older women. I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Guys my age and older do not want to date me because they think I'm past my expiry date, I'm used up, and that I've got baggage.
I mean, don't get it twisted. Neither of the men in these age brackets want to take these women seriously, okay? The dudes who are older don't even want you for bedroom fun. The guys who are younger don't want you for a bedroom fun or a relationship either. I mean, excuse me, they want you for the bedroom fun, but they still want you for no relationship. And this is the way it goes for so many modern women. They hit 30, right? They start getting older. I mean, this woman, I think, is in her 40s, maybe even, despite all the filter and the makeup. And so women start complaining that men who are their age and older don't want to commit to them. Of course they don't. These men have checked out. They're not interested in crazy women.
I just got unmatched on Hinge because I'm way too honest. It was never about the money, it was about the principle. This guy took me out on a date to a restaurant and then decided to do a runner and left me with a $200 bill. This is to all the people who keep kindly reminding me that I'm getting older and I'm not able to do the job that I'm doing forever.
And by the way, guys, when she's saying this, she's not referring to TikTok. She does only Sims. And don't ask me for her ID. I will block you. Stop being Sims.
Well, thank you for this compliment, but my daughter Annabelle is 18 and I'm 35, so it's a 18-year age gap. I don't consider an 18-year-old daughter baggage because she's all grown up now, she lives by herself, and I don't have to look after her anymore, so...
I mean, I don't care what these women like to self-assign it as. It is still baggage, and men are still not interested in dating you if you're a single mother, or at least a lot less men are going to be interested in dating you. I love how women try and gaslight guys. They're like, yeah, so what? You know, my kid's 18, or they're going off to college soon, so I don't have to look after them. You're still a single mother, and a lot of guys are not interested in dating that.
So she's independent. I will never understand when guys say that they prefer natural women and they don't like all the fake stuff that we get done. But then you head over to their Instagram page and check their following, and they're literally following all the women who get BBLs, boob jobs, lip filler, you name it.
What we like to look at and what we want to smash is not the same thing as what we want to marry. That's what women don't understand.
I don't understand this. The only guys who still find me attractive at almost 35 are either guys who are much younger than me or much older than me. There's literally no in between. Why is everyone so obsessed about body counts? If guys sleep with thousands of women, it doesn't matter. They're legends and it doesn't count. They can just do whatever they want.
Just by the way, women could have a harsh opinion on these men, but they don't. Oh, how come it's okay for men to go out here and hook up with a whole bunch of women? I mean, let me just say this off the bat, guys. I'm not advocating this, but women certainly don't disqualify men because they've been with a whole bunch of women. If anything, they just end up chasing you even more. Right, as long as you're not just like being ridiculous about it, flaunting it in their faces, kind of thing. But women go out here and they certainly chase dudes with options. They chase the dudes who have been with a whole bunch of women, things like this. I mean, if you want it to not be seen as something that is put on a pedestal, then you're the ones who put it on a pedestal. Nobody is forcing you to date men who have a whole bunch of options or to chase the guys who get all the attention from women anyway. I mean, this is why women go out here in droves to see people like musicians, and they will still chase that man till the ends of the earth, even though all the other women are doing the same thing.
But women, on the other hand, we're not allowed to sleep with anyone.
What we find attractive and what women find attractive are two different things. Women want a man with experience. Women want a man that has game. They don't want the geek guy that is a virgin, that doesn't know how to talk to them, that doesn't know what to do.
Ever.
Just by the way, guys, I think I speak for myself and a lot of dudes when we say, we don't care what you do. If you want to go out there and hook up with a whole bunch of guys, it's not my life. I don't care. I think you're a clown for doing it. I think the women, I mean, the men will be very happy that you are doing the community such a service. But, you know, nobody's telling women that they can't do this. In fact, it's the complete opposite. Society is very accepting of women going out here and being complete degenerates. And me personally, guys, I don't care. I'm not interested in dating this woman. She can go out there, she can do whatever the hell she wants, as long as it's away from me. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. And I think a lot of men are the same. They don't care what you do. A lot of guys have completely checked out. You want to go around and screw around and hook up with a whole bunch of dudes? You want to be a single mother? Not my problem.
Things are still so backwards in 2024 because
No, they're not.
I feel like it's still only ever acceptable for guys to go out and have fun, but not women. The real problem is that nobody is brave enough to come up to me in the real world.
Ah, yes.
So my DMs are literally flooded on Instagram, on TikTok, you name it. Like, I get hit on all the time online, but it's different when I actually go out. If I ever happen to get into a relationship, I need a guy to look at me just like my puppy does. Like, he has to be obsessed over me like this. I don't think that I'm too old to have kids at 34. I know so many women who have them later in life now. So between the ages of 30 and 40, like, it's becoming more and more common. I'm not
Yes, just keep going out there, lying to women, telling them that everything's going to be fine. You can have a kid from anywhere between the ages of 30 and 40. I mean, this is not how it actually works in reality. I think 35 for women is considered a geriatric pregnancy, right? You're going to have high likelihood of complications and things like this. Now, if you want to have a child with high levels of complications, personally, I think that says a lot about you, especially considering when you could have had a kid literally over a decade ago. But hey, go out here, advocate to women to have their children between the ages of 30 and 40. Women have such terrible role models these days, guys, as well. Like, so many of these women have these TikTok accounts where they give advice like this to women, and then before you know it, these women are following their advice, realizing that they can't actually freeze their eggs, and crying because they'll never have the family that they thought would always be an option for them to have.
Just because it's getting more common now doesn't mean that the risks aren't there, because they are. And the older you are, the higher the risk that you can have a baby that is not healthy.
not saying that it would always be easy, given that, you know, fertility is declining as we age, but it's definitely possible. And I know so many women who have been fine.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
That I cheated on him. Right before I broke up with him, I slept with another guy. He doesn't know.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
I f***ed his best friend.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
I had dreams about other people.
What's one secret you didn't tell your ex?
I f***ed his best friend.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
When I was with him at the end, for 1 year, I didn't love him anymore.
What's one secret you didn't tell your ex?
I cheated on him with my current boyfriend, and he didn't know about it for weeks.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
I didn't want him to go on my phone because I was actually cheating. I wanted to go on my phone, so then I started crying because I didn't want him to go on my phone, but I was actually talking to I liked his best.
I mean, how common is this one right here, by the way? You know, you go out there, you ask your girl to see her phone, and she starts crying or things like this. This reminds me of the situation also that a lot of men go through, which is, yeah, you go out here and you get your girl to sign a prenup, and all of a sudden they start crying and things like this. I mean, it's the exact same thing. Women just break down in tears. They start pulling this emotional nonsense whenever you're close, to realizing the truth about why they're actually there.
Phone, so then I started crying because I didn't want him to go on my phone, but I was actually talking to I liked his best friend for a while.
I didn't love him. That's probably what it was.
You never told him?
So he was one time, and I was sleeping, but not actually sleeping, and he told me that he loved me. I heard it.
Well, you pretend you were out.
Then I was asleep. He was like, "Do you love me?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm," and I didn't answer him.
But the answer's no.
Yeah, the answer's no.
What's one secret you never told your ex?
One of my exes that like wasn't a boyfriend, but like an ex thing, he pissed me off, so I hooked up with his best friend.
Guys, the economy is getting so bad, I'm actually considering getting married.
He literally might have just called you because you're one of the people on his roster,
True.
but you are on his roster.
I know.
I mean, why is this woman acting like this is some kind of victory here, man? Oh, you're on his roster. Congratulations. Yeah, probably your best friend is as well. I mean, this is just ridiculous, guys. Women oftentimes would rather be single than to actually be with a dude who's on their level. And they say this openly, right? They'd rather go out there and chase the dude who's high status, who's very attractive and things like this. They would rather be one of many and be completely unable to get commitment from that particular man. But she would rather do that than have a relationship with a quote-unquote average man because she thinks that she's above him. What is this one here? I've been married 35 years. The moment I just lived and didn't just want a partner or to date, my life changed and partners just appeared.
This is coming from a nice place, but the amount of times that single people get told to just wait and it'll find you, it gets kind of frustrating.
Yes, because those people that say just wait, the right guy will fall from the sky are very stupid. That's why they tell you this.
Because it doesn't feel like that will ever happen. But I get the point of the advice, I really do.
If a girl's body count being high is a red flag, then a guy's bank account being low is a red flag. Don't be mad at me.
Yes, ma'am, you are correct. But his bank account can go up. Your body count will never go down.
Oh, damn, they don't want to hear that one, right? Also, I personally think this is a very, this is a false equivalency here, considering that women can most definitely, I think it's a lot easier to, for example, preserve how many men you sleep with, rather than try and make, for example, 6 figures. Okay, these are in totally different, realms of difficulty here, but women like to make these comparisons that make absolutely no sense. Oh, a man's bank account being low is a red flag. It's like, okay, these women have no respect for money or how difficult it actually is to become a successful guy. You want to go out here and make 6 figures? I mean, girls just think that money grows on trees oftentimes.
Can go up. Your body count will never go down.
Where are all of my girlies that are single and happy? Seriously, I want to know where you are. I want to know where this video reaches, because I'm sick of seeing people who are single and unhappy.
I went out with this guy. It was fine. He wanted to see me again the next day, and I was like, absolutely not. That's also a rule of mine. We can't see each other for at least a week after our first date. But anyway.
Oh my God, I would forget about the person. A week? I would forget that you existed.
I need my space. I need time to figure out if I actually enjoyed our first date. You know, it takes me some days to process. Then I still have to...
If it takes you some days to process a date... that means you are very slow, ma'am.
to clean my apartment and, like, you know,
like do your little manic chores.
Yeah, and psychoanalyze and yeah.
Whenever I need a laugh, I just remember that at one point in my life, I thought that I would have like 2 kids by the time I was the age that I am now.
It's not that if he wanted to, he would. It's that if you wanted to, you would. If you wanted to find a man that treats you the way you want to be treated, you would.
True.
Ooh, but you didn't, did you? You're still staying with the same dipshit because...
And you still want the Chad that cheats on you.
Because you want...
Yeah, this is something that so many modern women say, is they will cry and complain about the behavior of some man, right, or men in general, but really they're just chasing the dudes who don't want them. This is a theme on every single one of these videos, guys, is women being completely incapable of making the correct decision about the type of men that they want. Okay, they'll go out here and they'll think that they're entitled to a guy who's highly attractive, makes a lot of money, looks really good on social media, that sort of thing. But then they cry and complain when that same man never wants a relationship from them. And they say, oh, I just want to be treated with the bare minimum. Like, yeah, okay. If you wanted a guy who actually respected you and loved you and so on and so forth, you'd be able to go and find that man in 2 seconds. But you don't want him because he's not up to your other standards, which these women absolutely refuse to acknowledge.
You want him to change for you. You want him to do better, be a better man. And that's not because you're a good woman. It's because you're too scared to be alone so that you put the responsibility to change onto others.
Yes.
You see, the problem was never them. It has always been you.
So one thing that I want discussed or want advice on is how to navigate being in your now mid-30s for me, being single and being childless when wanting to find a partner and wanting to have children is something that you really want.
From the start, I know that's not something that she really wanted. Why? Because if she really wanted, to be a wife, to have kids, she would prioritize this. What have you been doing till now? Why are you at 35 and still single and childless? Because you prioritized your career, because you prioritized other things, because you're not actually a wife, but you're looking for a husband. That's why.
It's something.
I mean, let's cut the nonsense here as well. I think Manosphere is being a little bit nice to this woman when he is explaining what she's been doing this last little while. And by little while, I mean over a decade of her life. She's been too busy hooking up with random men. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. Many of these women engage in this degeneracy for a very long period of time, and this is what they have been doing. They rock up to 35 and they're like, okay, ready for my husband now. Meanwhile, they've been with like 150 different dudes, and you're supposed to come out here as a man and take them seriously. It's absolutely insane, guys. It is absolutely crazy. I think, you know, we as men, we're inclined to be a little bit polite and lenient with what they've been doing the past decade plus. But really what they've been doing is going out there, partying, hooking up with dudes, taking Lord knows what in terms of substances. And like, we're supposed to, at the end of that, go, okay, yeah, she's wife material. No, she isn't. She's going to leave you. She's going to take your crap. She's a terrible choice in a partner, and it's not going to work out well for you.
That I really struggle with, because I'm starting to feel like I'm the only one that's not found somebody, and that missing out on having children is maybe a real possibility. I'm at the age where most of my school friends, my work friends, everyone is engaged, married, partnered, pregnant, has children, and it seems like all of what I see are...
Can you see the host? She's getting also emotional. I think she's also single, and she's also over 30, 35.
engagement announcements and wedding invitations and
she's crying.
Pregnancy announcements.
But they never think about this in their 20s. And if an older woman says to them, pay attention, they wouldn't listen. Or if I say something, I'm just a bald, ugly, old guy.
Yeah, not to mention you're also an ICEL and things like this. Yeah, man, look, me and Manosphere and many other different creators, older women can come out here and we can tell these women that the decisions that they're making are completely terrible, but they'll never listen. Right? And we'll just get insulted, and that's fine. I don't particularly care what these women have to say. I don't particularly care what they think. But what happens is when they end up crying, it makes it really damn funny, because there are people out there who will tell them the truth the entire damn time, right? But they get dismissed. Oh, you're just an ICEL, or you're just, you know, I want to go out there and live my life. Okay, go out there and live your life, and we will check in when you are 35, and there are clips of you on the internet crying, and I will sit here and I will cover the clips, and I will be smiling from ear to ear because I think it's fantastic. Right, guys? Like, I'm all for, I don't mind. People can go out here, they can make whatever decisions it is that they like. But, you know, with those decisions come consequences. I don't mind what the decisions are as long as you're not harming other people, obviously. But your decisions really do have consequences. And I'm not going to cry you a river when people have been telling you to do the opposite the entire damn time, but you don't want to listen. You'd rather listen to the majority of women telling you the stupid thing to do over on TikTok. It's not my problem. In fact, it makes for great content.
What do I know? I know nothing.
Announcements and birth announcements, and I'm so happy for those people. It's such a bittersweet feeling. I'm getting emotional. It's such a bittersweet feeling every time, because I'm scared I'm going to miss that. As much as people can say, oh, you've got time, biologically you don't.
True.
Here's what I'll say about women that date younger men. Often it's when they have felt undesired for a really long time in a similar age relationship. What I mean by that is they may have been married or had kids with somebody, and that passion has gone and it's kind of disappeared. So what happens is that they seek a really young man to just feel desired again. And that's the same thing with men, but slightly more with women that do that, because it's not our nature to go for younger men. But once a woman's had her kids, she can almost act like a man when it comes to selecting a partner.
I love how she just tries to turn herself into a victim But very much so, this actually lines up with women's biology, guys. If you look at the type of men that women prefer in terms of age, what happens is once they get out the kids and once they have the marriage, they go right back to dating the dudes who are chads, so to speak. Right? I don't have the chart on me. Maybe I can get my editor to pull it up for you, but there is a dip on that particular chart. As women get older, they go right back to the bad boys. I like how women try and claim, like, you know, she's trying to pass it off as if she's a victim in this situation. But let's be honest, women are going out here. What they're doing is they're hooking up with a whole bunch of dudes until they're 30, 35. Then they settle down, they have a marriage, they have kids with the guy, then they divorce the guy, try and take the kids, try and take his money, and then they go right back to chasing the bad boys.
I fucking hate when I hear women just dogging on men, and I'm like, I love men. Like, I love, you know, fathers, brothers, husbands. Like, I love men. That's like what makes us women, is that there are men. And they're like, oh, you're not a feminist. Like, fuck men, they're worthless. And I'm like...
And the saddest part is, they think that acting like that will actually attract a high-value man. But it won't.
So fucking irritated. Like, grow up, open your fucking eyes. Like, what, your fucking boyfriend cheated on you? Okay, build a bridge, get the fuck over it, realize that that was a him, that was between you and him, and that's not all men are fucked, okay? Because I fucking love men, alright?
When I ask... And you know what? Women will go out here, they will continue to date the bad boys, and then the same thing will happen to them over and over again. But what they fail to realize is that they're just, again, dating and chasing men who don't want them in the first place. Oh, wow, he saw another woman, or wow, he cheated on me. Yeah, I could have told you that he wasn't going to be serious with you from the start, but somehow all of these women just get completely blindsided by the men that are obviously well out of their damn league and who have a bunch of options and no reason to commit to them. Let's keep going.
The girls, what do you want in a relationship? And they describe all these very cookie cutter guy next door, very, very nice church choir boy qualities. And then you ask them who they actually dated, and they describe the tattoo sleeves, the fact that he used to sell steroids, he's a male stripper, and like he hit her. And then I ask them, do you understand the disconnect? How you described who you dated, this man had sex with you, and then you describe what you want. And when guys bring that to you, then you aren't attracted to them.
Yeah. Just ask her about her ex, and the ex before that, and the ex before that, and you will see a pattern. That's what she really likes. That's what she is attracted to. Now, of course, they will change their preference. When? When they've hit the wall. When they're over 30, 35. Then they want the nice guy.
And they can't. Like, the dissonance is still there. For us as men, we know we have to do things to build ourselves to become more attractive. But women, because they don't have that same struggle, that same mountain to climb, often they don't understand it in others. And so they're just, do we even have to explain that the guy has to be attractive? Yeah, you do, because most men aren't attractive, and that's what's confusing.
Yeah.
Here's how I immediately know that a ship is going nowhere fast with a man. When he asks me, where do I want to travel? Am I interested in traveling? If he tries to open any type of long-winded conversation about travel or where I want to go. Because the guys who are really about it like that, they don't have that conversation with you. They just warn you, keep your passport on you at all times. I might want to go to Costa Rica or the Bahamas at any minute. And
Stop yelling, man. I mean, I have to pause the video simply because I'm like, this woman is giving me a little bit of a headache here. I mean, she's sitting here trying to talk about, oh, you know, this guys who have a lot of money actually do this, and the guys who are really about travel, they do this. Man, nobody gives a damn. Stop yelling. And like, women will make videos like this, and they are trying to portray to other women that they can get successful men. But really, they failed to lock them down. They failed to get a relationship out of these men. Just because you can hook up with a guy and he, you know, flies you somewhere, he probably just wanted to smash for a bit. I mean, none of these women ever end up really having relationships with these same men that they're whining about TikTok on, or that they're yelling about on TikTok.
And we're leaving tomorrow. Like,
when I hear women talking about travel, I just assume they're gold diggers, and all that they want from you is to travel for free.
Yep.
So why would you open that conversation? Why would you want to lead with your money?
Are you ready? By the time I'm getting the questionnaire about where I want to travel, am I interested in traveling? I already know. Wrap it up. wrap it up. Let's just skip to the part where we block each other, because it's a stupid way of trying to make you think you're going to have a fantasy relationship with them. A lot of these guys will do it very early on. It just lets you know that they have no substance to them.
Wait. So this is interesting, right? Because what this woman is doing is she's trying to say that the dudes have no substance, but really she's complaining about dudes who have the means to travel not actually committing to her. Notice the part there where she says, hey, let's just skip to the part where we block each other. So the dudes who talk about travel, in her opinion, are baiting her insofar as maybe pretending to be successful. And then she's pissed because she's like, why don't we just end up blocking each other anyway? So Gold Digger is frustrated that men are baiting her and then not wanting relationships with her. I mean, don't really care. I find it very funny. Let's keep going.
Because after 6 years, I was tired of asking, take me on a date. Let's go out. I look pretty. Let's do something. This guy works the whole time we were together and it's fine. But like...
Can you see how they don't take accountability? It took you 6 years to see the red flags? No, she saw them from the start, but she ignored them.
I work too. I don't live to work.
Amazing. I would follow up with another question. Why did you choose to be with this guy? Because I'm sure he was working the same in the beginning. Why did you project a potential or an ideal of a partner onto your partner?
Because they always want to change the man.
And expected him to rise up to your perception.
By the way, if you guys didn't catch that, I believe this woman here, let me just go back. What she did was she ended up ditching her boyfriend of like 6 years, and the reason why is because he didn't have time to take her out on dates because he worked too much from the beginning. I mean, again, why would you get into a relationship in the first place if you're just going to ditch him after 6 years because he's someone who works hard and spends a lot of time working? I've noticed a lot of modern women do this, right? They just want a guy who's wealthy but doesn't actually spend a lot of time working. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your own thoughts and comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.